Hi, everybody. We are live here. I'm in Montreal. My name is Miss Katie. I'm that vegan teacher, and welcome to my guest here. We have Jack, who is in the British Army. Say hi, Jack.
Yeah, hi guys.
Don't hijack anything, though. Hijack. You must get. Okay, that's a dumb joke. Oh my God, help me. I'm not funny. Okay, Jack. Jack is great. I love Jack. Jack and I met on TikTok, and
Yes,
we
we
have.
did.
Jack was super nice to me when so many people were mean to me, and he made a really nice video saying that he supported me. And so I said, I gotta get this guy in my classroom as a guest speaker. And so here he is. So Jack, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you become vegan?
Yeah, basically, I mean, like anybody's story of going vegan, it's normally quite a long story. So if I just shorten it down, essentially what happened is I went through, like you say many times, is you go through a bunch of clicks. And I remember watching videos of Earthling Ed and disliking them. I remember all sorts of things. And then one day, and then I remember one day I was
Okay,
I was
no.
telling
I gotta cut you off right away because the people watching don't necessarily know who Earthling Ed is. Now, Earthling Ed is like the opposite of me. I'm just like in your face. I'm calling it like it is. I mean, he does that too, but he's so likable, and people call him Jesus. He looks like Jesus. He's very calm. How could you not like Earthling Ed? Like what happened? Like what rubbed you the wrong way?
Well, the problem was I was driving home. I stopped at McDonald's and got a chicken wrap or something, and I watched TEDx. I don't know if you've ever seen TEDx, and he's got so he's got a TEDx speech, and I was watching it and I was listening to it, and it annoyed me so much because I was eating chicken, and I guess I was having the backfire effect, and I was just like, I remember I disliked it and I turned it off, and it was a few weeks later. The message that he was saying must have sunk in because they were talking about veganism at work, and I was saying, guys, they're probably right. Okay, I'm not a vegan. I couldn't be a vegan. It's too difficult. But they're probably right. And it wasn't until a couple of months after that I still thought that we had a good reason to eat meat. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. And I saw a Joey Carbstrong video, and it said farmer gets owned, and I thought, brilliant, this is just what I needed. I needed a video to confirm my bias that a farmer's going to get owned. So I watched it, and of course Joey Carbstrong had set it up, and the farmer didn't get owned, and it got me curious. It made me think maybe I'm wrong about this. So I looked a bit more, and I don't know if you've heard of That Vegan Couple. Have you heard of them?
I've met them, in Montreal.
Yeah. Well, of course, she's easy on the eye, so it was good to watch her. And so I watched her for a bit, and I was like, someone's going to come up with a good reason soon. I kept watching until eventually I realized there's no good reason here. And they mentioned the Gary Rofsky speech, and they also mentioned.
When they went to meet him, which is my dream to meet Gary Yourofsky one day. I really want to meet him. He is a huge inspiration for me, actually. He is just, he says it like it is,
Exactly. And I know you take huge inspiration of him because I've seen some of your videos where you talk about it. And and the other thing that they mentioned was, or somebody mentioned, I can't remember who it was Land of Hope and Glory. And I remember sitting there watching Land of Hope and Glory, and I just couldn't believe what I'd been missing my whole life. I couldn't believe this was actually happening. And that I'd never seen this before, or that I was unaware of it. So I was almost in shock. And after watching that, and after watching Gary Rofsky's speech, I still wasn't vegan at that point. But I knew it was the right thing to do. And I posted a comment on Facebook, and one of my friends in the army screenshot it, sent it to a WhatsApp group that we're all part of, and kind of called me out a bit, humiliated me a bit. But I ended up defending the vegan position as a non-vegan.
Right.
And I realized that
now you know their clicks are coming in, and you're crossing that line. It's such a weird feeling, isn't it? Because you're still eating animals, but you're finding yourself defending them. It's so cool. Hey, I want to just stop you for 1 sec because I want to include our audience here, and I'm just randomly clicking on anything. So I just have to respond to this, but I do want to hear the rest of what you're saying. She isn't a teacher. Yes, I am. I trained as a registered nurse. I worked as a nurse for 25 years. Then I went to university for 4 years to become a teacher. And I've been teaching for 9 years in the school system. And now I'm teaching on TikTok and privately. So just to let you know that. Okay, now I cannot obviously click randomly like I would like to because The problem is people are having their own conversations here. Ideally, I would have another moderator who would put the questions on the screen, because I don't even know what this is. Will be your C=1 warning. I don't know what that means. Okay, so let's just get rid of this and saying, let's see if I can find something with a question mark. Okay, here's something. So you're going to read the questions and you're going to read the comments. Okay, Jack? But hold on, finish your story.
Okay, yeah. So where was I up to? So so they'd called me out on a WhatsApp group, and they were all making comments, all messaging me saying, we've eaten meat for thousands of years, and I was arguing back with them, and all the arguments, all the typical stuff.
Yeah.
And I realized at that point I couldn't argue the position if I wasn't a vegan. It would be hypocritical of me, and almost being a hypocrite made me go vegan. It made me go, right, that's it. I need to make this step now. And from then on, I didn't look back, and I thought it was going to be really difficult. But 2 weeks in, I was like, why did I even question this? It's so easy. It was,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how. So yeah, that's how I got to become vegan in the first place.
Right. So, this is what I say. I tell people it takes 100 clicks until you become vegan. It has to penetrate your brain. You have to feel for the animals. You have to understand all the arguments. It's not, I don't believe that people become vegan overnight. There's just so much involved with all the different animals, all the different foods, the traditions, what if you're on a desert island when it's just you and a pig? What do you do? And just, there's so much. Where do you get your protein? Like, these are all normal questions that people ask. To us, they just seem silly now because we're into it, right? But I mean, it takes a while.
From the non-vegan point of view, I think they might think, oh, look at these guys. They've been almost like brainwashed to believe this. But that's because they're brainwashed. Whereas we've kind of unconditioned ourselves. We've learned that actually we don't need to eat animals to be healthy. In fact, it's healthier not to eat animals. And when it's almost like you have to unlearn these lies. And it's difficult. It is difficult. It's like, I remember thinking, if I don't eat meat again, am I going to be healthy? And I genuinely thought that.
Me too. I mean, when I first became vegan, I thought to myself in the back of my head, okay, if I'm really not doing well, maybe I'll eat like 1 fish a month or something. Like, I just, you play these mind games with yourself, right? And then it's like, hello.
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
Go and eat something substantial, like eat more calories and you feel good. One of the biggest problems that people do is they become vegan and they don't eat enough calories. And then they're like always hungry. And they're just like, oh, I can't do this. Yes, you can. Keep your nuts, all different types of nuts. Like, think about all the different types of nuts in the world. Keep all these different ones in a bag and a bunch of dates and and figs. And just when you're hungry, just wolf them down. Fill that void with a big, huge glass of water, a big smoothie, and a bunch of nuts, and you'll be fine. Or especially on the road, it's perfect. Nuts, raisins, trail mix, right? Seeds, like just that'll get you through it. And then you'll be like, okay. I don't need to go and get a fish, or I don't need eggs. I don't need milk or meat, right? All right. So that vegan teacher, what made you vegan? I became vegan because it's a long story and I tell it over and over, but I'll try to condense it. Basically, my ride was pretty bumpy. I always felt weird eating animals. And then my daughter, who was 14 at the time, went to a camp, and she said it was a camp by this religion, the Unitarian Universalist. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of them, but they're super open. They're super democratic. They're pro gay rights, pro everybody, everything, democracy. And she came back from that camp, and she said she wanted to become vegetarian. And I was like, let's do it. So, I mean, I was just like ready, so we became vegan, we became vegetarian. And then, of course, it was like, okay, well, actually we have to be vegan, I realized soon. And then I was worried because everyone was telling me my kids are too skinny at the pool there. But, I naturally have, these tiny bones, so my kids being just smaller frames, anyway, basically I chickened out, so to speak. No offense to the chickens, but I got scared and I just started giving them animal products again because people said they thought they were too skinny. But, it was dumb. I didn't need to do that. I should have just, and I started doing like, what was it? Organic milk and things like that. And I was like, oh, I'm doing better. But then, after a while, I just couldn't stand it anymore. I was like, I'm lying to myself. Like, this is bullshit. So eventually I became vegan, and then, now I'm vegan. So that's the story. That's the whole thing. Let's read another one here. If this is a question. What's your favorite? My favorite animal is all animals. Katie is spelled Kadie. What about you, Jack? What's your favorite animal?
Yeah, to be honest, this might surprise people, but I'm actually not an animal lover. I suppose if I had to choose, it would probably be a pig, because they're the most underrated animal of all the animals that we farm. And they're actually really cool. They're so intelligent. A lot of people don't know this about how smart they are.
Yeah.
And,
They can do puzzles. They can do puzzles. They
Mm-hmm.
can learn tricks, and they are not as dirty as people think. I mean, when they're left alone, they go into the mud because it's just a way of cooling themselves. And they also build these nests with straw. They're very they like to make a nice. They're not dirty. They take care of themselves.
I was actually reading it. Oh, sorry, I was going to say I was reading an article today actually about there were some pigs in Japan, and they were known for how good a hygiene they have. So, it just goes to show people's misconceptions of things like this.
Yeah. And also what I think is really great is that you said you're not an animal lover, which is great because people don't have to be an animal lover in order to know that it's not okay to just kill them, right? Like, I don't love all my neighbors. I don't want to kill them. I'm like, let everybody live in peace. Let's everybody be nice to it, like polite and nice to each other. But, it's the same for the animals, right?
Exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. So here's another question. Let's see. You go ahead and read them. You're gonna answer them with me. Well, I'm
Miss
gonna
Katie,
eat a banana.
Yeah, Miss Katie, banana strawberry smoothie or strawberry blueberry smoothie?
Oh, for me, banana strawberry, because blueberries. You know how I love blueberries. I try to eat blueberries almost every day because I found out how good they are for you. They're so good for trying to stop cancer. And remember, guys, I try to eat 30 different vegan foods a day. I know it seems crazy, and it's not always that easy, but remember, spices count, right? So if you just add a whole bunch of different spices to your meal, that counts. So then after that, I just try to have small portions of a whole bunch of different things. Is great for the microbiome. And I like to put blueberries on my peanut butter toast. Oh my God. I used to put jam all the time. And then I thought, why am I having this crap when there's sugar in it? I thought, I'm going to get used to eating blueberries and fruit just normally. And then now I put them in a pot and I crush them up, like I warm them up, and then I pour them on my toast. I eat it with a knife and fork. It's so delicious. It's as good as cake. I mean, that's how I feel now. I don't know if my taste buds have changed, but I actually crave vegetables sometimes. Like even broccoli, I can't just eat a big thing of broccoli like that. But if it's chopped up really small, a key to me is chopping things up small. Either blending, putting them in soups, or chopping them. And you have like a really delicious sauce that you make from blending up other vegetables. Pour that on there. I like to have salads with like broccoli and everything in there. And I put tons of raisins. And it gives you sort of like that sort of, I don't know, that sweetness. Like I used to make a dressing with ketchup and oil and different kinds of spices. And now what I do is I don't use any oil. I don't cook with oil. I mean, this is just mind-boggling to me too, because this is like next level veganism, right? I mean, some people are there. You guys who are just new vegans, like you don't have to do that. Like just don't eat the dead animals, right? But after a while, you start to learn more and more, and you do more research, and you become just like, okay, that guy's not eating oil. Maybe I could try that. And oh, that one's making dressing for their salad without any, sugar added. No, because ketchup is just full of salt and sugar, right? So what about you? What do you do? What are some kind of things that you eat?
Well, to be honest, obviously being in the military, I have to rely on what they provide, which is actually, I mean, they provide so many good foods, from all sorts of curries with lentils and beans, you name it. And obviously it's quite often what they do is, because they have to provide for me and there's so few vegans, they'll actually end up putting on a whole plate of food and then end up getting a lot of people to eat it and a lot of people trying it, which is actually really good. So just by me being like one vegan, I've actually influenced maybe other people to try new foods.
That's so great. Yeah,
exactly.
All right, let me see. Is there any questions here for let me see, guys, I'd like to ask you to write some questions for my guest here, for Jack. He is in the Army. What are we curious about? What do you want to know? I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I just learned, because I just met him here in real life just before coming on, and I did ask him. I know he's 34 years old. He has 2 kids. and he has been in the army for 18 years, and he's been vegan for 20 months. So we know this about Jack. If you have any other questions about Jack, I personally, Jack, was just about to ask you what it's like to be in the army. And are people nice to you there? Or do you? Now, I know it's tricky because you might have some people from the army watching you and you're not going to maybe necessarily tell the entire truth. But, vegan phobia, does it exist in your mind?
Oh, it 100% exists. There's no doubt about that. What I would say is that certainly in the British Army, I can't speak for all other armies, obviously, but in the British Army, they're really good for equality and diversity. So when it comes to like racism and sexism, they'll crack down on it straight away. You won't get away with it. The problem is with vegan phobia, it's unrecognized, so that it does slip the net. And it's almost because it slips the net, it gets compounded. And I get a lot of jokes thrown my way. However, because I'm quite comfortable speaking about it, it doesn't bother me. In fact, I encourage it, because when someone says to me something, and believe me, I get it a lot, they'll say something like, I hope this pig suffered for this bacon sandwich. I'll just say something back like, well, if you're not against animal abuse, I can't stop you. And quite often that'll actually get their back up, and they'll actually get quite annoyed with that. So sometimes, yes, they do give me a bit of grief, but it enables me to talk. So I'm not too bothered about it. But yeah.
Good. But I mean, I believe that vegan phobia exists, of course, because of what I went through on TikTok, and that they took me down for vegan animal rights activism. But not just that; it's for what I saw so many students going through, so many kids that were immediately bullied. You just try to talk about being vegan, and these kids are so innocent. They're so cute. They're just like, hey, everybody should be vegan, and they're sharing my songs, and people are just like, fuck you, and you should, I hope you die. It's like, the kids are like writing me like, Miss Katie, what do I do? And I'm like, I know. Close your comment section. Don't look at the comment section. Keep posting vegan things all the time. Use my sounds that are there on TikTok, and I'm going to be putting a whole new second album out. You just type in Miss Katie, that vegan teacher, Miss Katie, and you can find all my different songs, and you can make a whole TikTok account without ever showing your face, and you don't have to interact with people. Just post a bunch of stickers, and the song will tell the words of what, that everyone should be vegan. That's what I encourage young people to do. Just don't look at the comments, because people are crazy, really, really cruel. And I don't want these kids to suffer from vegan phobia. It's just so sad.
I think a lot of what it is I don't know if have you heard of the Backfire Effect? I'm sure you have. Yeah. So, and I think that's what a lot of it is. They hear information they don't want to hear, and they just regurgitate it back out at the person who told them it. So like you say, if people are turning their comments off, they don't have to hear that. They can advocate in the right way without having to hear any of that. And I think that is the way forward, especially if you're not ready to answer the questions yet.
Yeah. Okay, what's this here? You want to read this?
It says, if you believe you can't become vegan overnight, then why did you ask people to be vegan every Sunday? Okay.
You talking about me, or did you do that, Jack?
No, I didn't do that.
I tell people to be vegan every single day. That's what I'm telling you, not just on Sundays. I don't know what you're talking about. I said that you should be vegan every day. I told people you can change religions. If your religion isn't telling you to be kind, you can change your religion on Sunday.
I think what they've done
every day.
I think what they've done here is they've done it in their voice, and it's come up. When you voice write something, and it comes up. They said every day, but it's obvious what you're trying to do. You're trying to tell people every day to go vegan because you want to be one of the ticks, and that you've already explained that.
Yeah, you should be vegan every day, all the time. Now, what I'm saying is that it takes 100 clicks to become vegan. It's got to penetrate your head. It's got to penetrate your heart until you get it. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying the end goal should be to be vegan, not to be vegetarian. It's not good enough. You're still paying for the rape, the torture, and the murder of innocent cows when you are eating dairy. And when you're eating eggs, it's terrible. Why don't you tell them what they do to the baby chicks?
Well, in the UK, they either grind them up alive or they put them in gas chambers and kill them as babies. So, I mean, why do they do that, Jack? Tell them. Well, they do that because they're useless. They're no use to the egg industry in the UK because the male chicks are the wrong breed. So they won't grow into meat chickens. They'll be no use to the farmer. So it's cheaper and more economical to kill them while they're babies.
Right. So just can't lay eggs. They're useless, so they kill them. I mean, it's just shocking. I'm gonna find my blender. Hold on. Okay, look. Look, here's a blender. Here's my kitchen blender. Right. This is what I use for my smoothies. Can you imagine? Imagine. You take a cute little innocent baby chick, as a baby boy chick, coming down the assembly line. Let's pretend this is a baby chick. Oh no, I better not show this. This, you know, when you peel a carrot, and then like 2 seconds later, it looks all brown. I'm not gonna show that. All right. Anyway, so yeah, you have a baby boy chick in your hands, going down the assembly line. You're checking. Oh, it's a boy. Could you do this? Put the baby boy in a blender. And then press the button. Murder the baby boy chick because he'll never be able to lay eggs. If you can do that, something's fucking wrong with you. And if you can't do it, then you should be vegan. And you were born vegan. And you should continue to be vegan. Because animals are not here to be exploited by us. They're here on the planet with us, not for us. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I think that most people, like when you put it like that, most people would be like, because I've asked this question on my TikTok a few times and I've given various scenarios and people would always say, well, I'd save the animals, but I'll still eat eggs. And that's because they're so disconnected that this is exactly what happens and they can't actually envisage that. They can't see that that's what they're paying for.
Mm-hmm.
When it absolutely is, but it's just cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm. So what about other things regarding you and the Army? Oh, actually, there's a question here. Well, I want to talk to you just one more second about you and being in the Army. So do you remember like the time when you finally decided that you were going to be vegan? Like, do you remember the first conversation at all? Or when somebody just kind of did that, okay, so what, you're vegan now kind of thing? Like, do you remember that moment?
Yeah, well, like I said, when I got called out on that WhatsApp group, people assumed at that point I was vegan, and they were just, you know, throwing arguments at me, making jokes, sending gifts, you know, all those kind of things. And I was trying to bat it off, but it's 100 to 1, so it's impossible.
But did you, like, I mean, the first time that you went and saw somebody is a WhatsApp group is typing, or is it you see each other?
It's like a group that you can have like 50 different people on it, and you can contact each other like on a message. Right,
but were you seeing each other's? I mean, what I mean is no. Okay, so what I mean is the first time that you like met somebody from the Army, in real life, and you saw them, and it was like in a kitchen or I don't know, at a restaurant or whatever, and then you kind of had to, you know, come out of the closet, like
Well, actually, my first experience coming out of the closet was actually with my sister. And she said to me, well, I explained to her, you know, I'm going to go vegan. And she was shocked. And then she asked me why, and I explained. And she was like, younger? She's younger. And I explained why, and I explained about the documentaries. And it wasn't long until she went vegan. And I was actually really grateful. Yes. Because exactly. I was so grateful because I didn't know anybody else that was vegan at the time. And as you know, like
family is the hardest. You lucked out, man, or you did something amazing, or she must really respect you, because I don't know, that is amazing. So many people have told me that their siblings are not vegan when they become vegan, and it's just heartbreaking for them. Yeah. So that's great. So you have that in common with each other.
Exactly, yeah. And then after that, I've got another sister, you see, and even she went vegan. So then I had two sisters. I know, yeah. So it was you know, we managed to get all three of us vegan, and now that's really good.
Wait, but so actually, how does the other sister fit in?
She's my older sister, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Wait, so you have kids, and what do the others have kids too that are?
No, they don't have any kids.
Okay, so there's no like nieces and nephews that are vegan or anything.
No,
and now you're probably all plotting like, how are we going to get mom and dad to be vegan, kind of thing.
Well, exactly, yeah. And we're nearly there. To be fair, we're nearly there. We're getting there.
You're gonna outnumber them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, I'm so happy for you. That's so great. Okay.
Sorry, I was going to say, because you mentioned about the first experience with work. The first experience with work was actually, even that was a positive one, because I went into work and a guy said to me, "Oh, why are you vegan now then?" Because he heard me ask the chef over the counter, and I said to him, I said, "Well, if you could eat animals, if you could live your life without hurting animals, would you do it?" And he said yes, and I said, "Well, that's exactly what I'm doing from now on." And after that, he went vegetarian. So, and he still is to this day, as far as I know.
Well,
but
it's a step, but this is how I explain it, right? I don't know if you can hear me if I go back, but if here's a person who eats animals and here's a vegan, right? Here, you want to know where a vegetarian is? Right? Vegetarian is just beside the person who eats animals. People think that they're way over here, but they're not, because they end up eating twice as much cheese, twice as many eggs, twice as much non-vegan yogurt. That's what happens. And I should know. I did the same thing. I remember making my pizzas and being like, I'm so great. There's no salami on here. Meanwhile, I'm putting like triple the cheese because I want the fat and the salt. It's, that's my feeling. And that's the fact. So it is a step, but it's not what we want in the end. We want them to be vegan.
You had George from Carnism Debunked on here just a couple of weeks ago, and he's got a brilliant video that explains how vegetarianism is the opposite of veganism, and he explains why. Because it sounds completely counterintuitive to say it, but when you explain why it's the opposite,
exactly, people think they're the same thing, and like they're the enemy. They're not the same. I agree with you. Exactly. It's the opposite. It's actually even worse because they already have made a connection with the animals. Other people you can almost forgive. They're just like clued out, like walking zombies who just eat animals all the time and don't know or whatever, right? Do you want to read this one on the screen?
Yep. It says, "What was the worst vegan food you have ever eaten? Have you ever been tricked by a fake vegan brand?"
Go ahead, you take it.
Oh, okay. The worst vegan food. Oh, I bought some vegan.
I'm gonna get some nuts. I'm listening, but I'm just getting some nuts. I gotta eat.
Cool. Yeah, so the worst vegan food I ever ate was, we bought some vegan pulled pork, and it didn't taste anything like pork. It just tasted terrible. We ended up just throwing it in the bin. We couldn't even stomach it. Have I ever been tricked by a fake vegan brand? I don't know what you mean by that, because they tend to. No. If it's vegan, then it's vegan. So tricked what? In what way? As in to taste like meat? Well, Beyond Burger tastes almost exactly the same as the real beef product. So
it's fine. Yeah, it's great. The worst vegan food I ever ate was, well, when I first became vegan a long time ago, or when I was trying to be vegan, but I didn't stay, we did not have the same cheeses we have now. Sorry, now I'm chewing with my mouth open, but talking with food in my mouth. But yeah, there were some really bad vegan cheeses back then. I actually had to stop trying to eat any kind of cheese altogether. And even now, I don't really buy vegan cheese. I eat mostly whole foods, just like you see here. I'll have like, these are walnuts. I showed you my carrot that's gotten a little bit brownish because it sat there. I'll have a bite anyway. That's what I eat. Brazil nuts, a few. Dates, things like that. All right. Let's see another thing here. I'm trying to look for a quick sentence that has a question mark here. Guys, I don't see any questions, so I'm just going to randomly click on something. Oh, no, that's just, we see that. What's this? Oh. You want to tell people what a vegan declaration day is?
Yeah, so a vegan declaration day is when you first announce you go vegan. So congratulations.
Congratulations to vegan Dylan. I guess somebody in the comments was saying that they're vegan. So I composed a song for that. And it goes like this. Happy Vegan Declaration Day to you. Woo-hoo. Happy Vegan Declaration Day to you. Woo-hoo. Whether you've been vegan for a lifetime or just a minute, welcome to the club. We're so glad you're in it. Happy Vegan Declaration Day to you. Woo-hoo. Happy Vegan Declaration Day to you. Woo-hoo. Everywhere around the world, animals are lining up to thank you for your compassion and for allowing your heart to open up. Oh, God, I know I sound terrible. I don't have a very good singing voice, but I love making up songs.
Yeah, well, you're far better than me.
Happy Vegan Declaration Day to you. This is amazing. So yeah, it's the day that you tell everybody you come out of the closet as vegan. Now, I've said it before. You are born vegan. You are born drinking your mother's milk, which is vegan. People are like, oh, you drink your mother's milk, so you're not vegan. Oh, of course, it's because you're vegan. And then there are, then what happens is you get fed these products by your parents. Your parent comes at you with a big spoon. Come at you with a big spoon and like, eat your meat, eat this dead animal, or else you can't go to bed or have any dessert. It's like, okay, don't do that to your kids. Don't give your kids any non-vegan foods. There are people who are born vegan and they stay vegan their whole life. Isn't that cool? So, yeah, we're born vegan. We just need to return to who we are meant to be. We are born and we don't want to hurt animals, right? Right. Jack.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I love hamburgers as well. So that's why I still eat them. I don't know what else you want me to say. Like, they don't have ham in them, obviously.
Yeah, they don't have ham in them. You just eat burgers. You eat veggie burgers. Yeah. Because what makes the burger taste good, Jack? What's in it that makes it taste good?
Yeah, the seasoning. That's what it is. It's the seasoning. And if you get Beyond Burger, you've got Impossible Burger. You've got like in the UK at least, every supermarket has their own brand of meat alternative burger, and half of them you can't tell the difference. And that's not just me saying that, because obviously I'm biased. I would say that, but that's I've had barbecues with guys at work, and I've brought my burgers along and got them to try it, and yeah, and they all agree. So
it's great. Yeah, and seasonings are basically vegan foods. So what makes the vegan burger taste good, or any burger, or tofu for that matter? Vegan stuff, seasonings, curry and cumin and oregano and garlic and whatever, anything. Just put spices on stuff. Tastes great. Yeah. Your turn to read.
Yeah, what would you do in the army if the only good option wasn't vegan? As in, if there was an option that was vegan, but the one I wanted wasn't vegan, well, I wouldn't want it. But even if, like, for some reason I wanted it, like, because I knew it tasted good, well, I'd just still opt for the vegan option, because it's about ethics. I mean, it takes, 5 minutes to consume that meal, but it cost an animal its life. So I'm not going to forfeit on my principle just because of a 5-minute meal. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's what I love about you, Jack. You're a man of principles. And I love watching your TikToks. Everybody should follow Jack. Jack, why don't you tell them what your TikTok account is?
Well, I've got to be honest. I've kind of stolen a username from a YouTuber called Vegan Foot Soldier, only because he wasn't on TikTok. However, I will be changing it because it's probably not fair to use his username. But for now, if you go to Vegan Foot Soldier,
did he tell you he didn't want you to use that name?
No, he hasn't told me. He hasn't told me, but I'm going to change it anyway.
You can have lots of vegan foot soldiers. You can have periods in between. You can have, what is it, hyphens and underscores. I mean, there's tons of vegan teachers out there. I'm not the only one. There's
That's true, yeah. Well, it's actually vegan.footsoldier, so technically it is different.
That's yours? Vegan.
Yeah, that's mine, yeah. Vegan.footsoldier.
Yeah. So we got to remember that. So vegan.footsoldier. Okay. So if anybody wants to support Jack, go ahead. Press like. Do some duets of his videos. Duets is when you show his whole video and you sit beside, or you write some comments on the side that say, go vegan, and things like that. And don't forget to use the hashtag vegans supporting vegans, so that when somebody is looking for other vegan friends, they can just go to that hashtag and find everybody who is helping one another. All right. So let's see, what's this? Do you have a favorite vegan food? I'm sorry for getting your name. You know what? I'd have to say maybe vegan pizza, just because I didn't have pizza for so long when I first became vegan, and because I just didn't really think I would like the cheeses because I had such a bad experience before. But there's a place called Pizza that we can go to here. We can get vegan pizza. Of course, it's filled with calories, and it's, it has the fake meats on there, as you call them, but they're spicy and they're salty and they're gooey, and I just love it. We go and get one, big one, and we sit in the car and eat it and pretend we're at a drive-through, but we just look at trees and birds. So that's our big date night over here. What about you?
Favorite vegan food? Probably there's a pizza shop near where I live, and I just love getting all the veggies with extra jalapenos. And they don't do vegan cheese there, so I just get it with no cheese, but it still tastes amazing. I know that sounds really weird. Most people, even vegans, are like, without cheese, that sounds weird, but I love it, and it's so much healthier as well.
Exactly, because cheese in the end is a processed food. When it's vegan cheese, it has some stuff in there, but once in a while, some processed foods are not the end of the world. I just, like I said, try to eat really healthy as much as I can that's not processed, and I try to aim for 30 different vegan foods every single day. So in my oatmeal, people who've seen my videos, I have tons of different ingredients in there. And like I said, I put blueberries on top of my toast, and with peanut butter, and yeah. All right. So did you see? Oh, there was a comment, and I think it's gone. Yeah.
I saw it. It said, how long had I been in the army? Well, I'm still in the army, and I've been in 18 years. So there you go.
Right. Okay. And he says, or she, Ashley says, thank you for your service, British Shoulder. Yes. I want to thank you too for your service here on social media and for supporting me when so few people want to be seen with me, because they're like, oh my God, I don't want to be associated with that vegan teacher. She's too tough. She's too mean to people. We don't want too much truth out there. And I just call out everybody. And what I like also is that, I was shocked to hear that you said that you watched 10 hours of my video.
That's right.
Do you want to tell that story?
Yeah. So basically, there's a YouTuber called David Rams. So that's David Rams with the double M, and he did 10 hours of that vegan teacher for charity. So I decided to just listen along, and yeah, so I listened along, and that's how I got to know Miss Katie in the first place. So I didn't know anything about her. In fact, to be honest with you, I probably heard a few things online and probably just bought the idea that maybe that I don't know, that I didn't really know anything about her. I didn't know anything positive about her. So basically, I didn't know anything, and then I watched that, and obviously then I got to know Miss Katie, and I got to understand her, and obviously got to realize that she's doing some good work.
Thank you for taking the time to look a little bit deeper. Yeah, it's funny. I get all kinds of people that say, well, when I first saw you, I thought you were some comedian. You're just singing and dancing and doing whatever. And I was like, you mean you didn't actually listen to my message? Like it didn't come through? And they're like, well, I don't know. I just kind of thought whatever. I was like, oh, damn it. So anyway.
I should say as well, because one of the first videos I saw of you was the one outside McDonald's, which since finding out about you, I played that to my daughter, and she loves it now. She sings along with a ukulele with it, so she loves it.
Oh, she has a ukulele.
Yeah, she's got one. God. Yeah,
that's so great.
I'll have to send you a video.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll do a video for her. Yeah. I'll say hi to her right now. Okay, you can show her. Okay, what's her name?
Maya.
And how old is she?
4.
Okay. Hi, Maya. It's that vegan teacher, Miss Katie. Hi. Your dad is great. Give him a big hug, okay? Give your dad a big hug. Just give him a big kiss on the cheek and say, Daddy, you're great. And say, I'm so proud of you, Daddy, because you're vegan. All right, Maya? Yes. High five. Yeah. All right. Let's continue here. I love you, Miss Katie. So good teacher. Greetings from Brazil. Thank you for being here from Brazil, from all over the world. This is so great. What else have we got here? Okay, someone else writes, wow. Okay, what else have we got? Anything else here in the comments? It's so hard to find something. Okay. Jack.
My declaration day was September 10th, 2019.
Cool.
Oh, and what's my opinion on vegan phobia? Well, it exists. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I see it every day. For example, I started a new place of work recently, and I bought in some plant milk, and people just said, "What the is that?" You know, they were like, "What is that? Get out of here with that stuff." Yeah, you know. So I get it every day, but it's quite good because it means that I'm quite confident about speaking about the issue. So all that means is that it opens up the conversation, and I think the more you talk about it, then the more comfortable and the more confident you will. And so you just got to practice, really.
Yeah. Well, I could probably learn a few things from you, Jack, because you have a good attitude about it. You're just like, well, first of all, probably how tall are you?
5'10".
5'10". Okay, you're not that huge. But I was gonna say because you look strong. I'd imagine that you're like walking around like, I'm vegan. What are you gonna say about it? You know, whereas I'm more like, I'm vegan. I don't like you because you're not vegan. And they get smacked me and I go flying, you know. So, but yeah, you have a sort of an attitude like, whatever, I'm vegan, I don't give a shit. But you're not mean about it, right? I mean, who could look at that face? Look, audience, look at him. Don't you just want to squeeze his cheeks? Jack, you're so cute.
Yeah, that's the thing though. It's like because when I first went vegan, I was angry, you know, like everyone was when they first go vegan. Because when you know what's going on, you want to, you know, you want to shake them and wake them up and say, look, what are you doing? But obviously, you soon realize that doesn't work. That's not going to work, and you need to kind of win people over and win over them with empathy. Well, I think that's how you do it. I know there are different ways, but one thing I also believe is that you should never get in anyone else's way, because sometimes someone will get a message from one direction, and then they might come across me and I can explain it in a different way. You know, so we've just got to be tolerant of each other, really, and do it in the best way we can, because I couldn't do what you do. I just don't. Sorry.
You know what? The thing is, though, it's different, right? On TikTok, I was like, you know, this sort of character, this exaggerated version. Because I studied the science of social change and DXE, direct action everywhere, which taught us that the way that the slaves were released and the way that the women got the right to vote and all of these different social changes, you don't just get it by saying, could you please just let me vote? You know, hey, can you just like release me? I'm a slave and I don't want to be a slave. Like, no, you have to get in their face. You have to repeat it over and over, and you have to disrupt society. So that's what I did on TikTok. And it's not the same thing as in real life one-to-one, because one-to-one, you know, you have to be a lot more gentle and patient, and every little thing matters because it's really directed at that person. And everyone has a different approach. And I have different approaches with different people. If someone's giving me attitude, I'm going to give them attitude. If I see that somebody is like really doesn't have a clue, doesn't know, how could I be mad at them? Like, I can't. They just don't know. They're like me, you know, 10 years ago or whatever, 20 years ago.
Well, so I've been in your comment section a lot, and one thing people keep on saying is, oh, like from vegans, it is they'll say, oh, she's doing more harm than good. You know.
I thought you were going to say she's forcing them.
Oh, no. So, but that's another one. But they'll say she's doing more harm than good, and I say to them, well, where's your evidence for that? And then they've got nothing. And I say, well, you can't just go around saying stuff if you've got no evidence, because you don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Exactly. And I really sometimes like I worry about that when the thing happened with Gordon Ramsay, because, you know, this guy's such a jerk. Like, I was just sitting there with my little ukulele singing a song and asking him to be vegan. He has so many millions of followers. He could have what I was hoping, best case scenario, is that he would either not answer at all and I would still get all of his audience to see this little song, Or he would do his thing. You saw the duet he did. I think 50 million people saw it, some outrageous amount of people. And so he did his duet and he pretends he's eating the lettuce and then he, spits it out and takes a bite of a burger, right? Now, had he not actually written on purpose, this was a meat burger, I could have rolled with it and said, oh, great. He ate a vegan burger. That's great.
Exactly.
But he's such an asshole that he deliberately wrote that and he deliberately tried to hurt me. And in what that does is that it has a domino effect, and so many more people because of him are eating more animals because they're just like, hey, our hero gave us the green light to do that. That is so morally despicable of him. And so, when he did that, I went to my bed and bawled my eyes out, not for myself, but because I just felt so bad. And I was worried that I was making things worse for the animals. But then I said to myself, okay, if this was a student who felt this way, what would I say? And the speech is this: you are not responsible for what they do. If they're going to pay somebody to murder, that's on them. I am here giving the message in a nice way. Sometimes I'm strong about it. Sometimes I sing. Sometimes I'm silly. I dance to songs. If he is going to take a message where I'm singing, eating animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Hurting animals is wrong, Gordon Ramsay. Share this song and change your entire attitude to be vegan from now on. If he's going to take that and make fun of him, that's on him. He has something coming though. I've got a song in the making for him, and it ain't pretty. Because I'm not gonna let his legacy be just left like that. That he is this person that everybody loves. He's got the blonde hair and the blue eyes, and he's just like, oh, so great and amazing. And he's a piece of shit. That's what that guy is, because he could have stayed neutral. Mm-hmm. He could have even eaten a vegan burger and said, that vegan teacher wants me to be vegan? Well, hey, we can all eat a vegan burger once in a while. He could have just said that. He didn't even have to declare that he's vegan. He could have just done one little positive thing, but he didn't. He went for the jugular, and he went for the jugular of all the animals he's eaten. Do you know that this despicable guy has done things like he's eaten the heart of a freshly killed snake, all kinds of things. Like, he's just a monster, honestly. And I said it in one of my videos. He's as bad as Hitler because he pays people to do this, and he knows it's bad. He pays people to sentence pigs to gas chambers. It's despicable. And not just that he does it, but he encourages actively this to go on and on and on and on, year after year.
I agree. There is a saying, it's impossible to get a man to understand something when his salary depends on it. I don't know if you've heard that before. And I think that applies.
Was that Steve Harvey that said that?
No, Upton Sinclair.
Oh, okay.
Sinclair. Yeah. Okay, and I think that applies to people like Gordon Ramsay. Like, he cannot go vegan because he knows that if he does, his career's over.
No, the thing is though, sorry, Jack, but I don't agree with you.
No,
okay, there's why the science tells us, okay, you're not any happier when you have 10 homes or 10 cars. You're just not. What makes a person happy is when their basic needs are met. They have a home, they have, they have a toilet, they have a roof over their head, they have a pillow and a blanket and the fridge full of food. And that's what you need to be happy. If you're struggling for those basics, you can't be happy. But he can easily continue his career. He does not need more and more millions and millions of dollars. He's a piece of shit. And I'm not going to let you get off the hook, Jack.
No, I'm not. No. What I meant to say was he might perceive it in his head that way, but that's not true. His career wouldn't be over at all. It would just change. He'd be like the best vegan chef out there. He'd be like world known for being such a good vegan chef. But instead, he just carries on as he is.
Yeah, if he could do it. But you know what? That to me is the proof right there that he's not such a good chef. Because there are channels here on YouTube where all they do is cook vegan foods, and they have millions of followers, and that's, they're ethical vegan animal rights activists, but they don't talk about the animals that much. But if you question them, they say, I'm vegan for the animals. They will say it. They're not like hiding and afraid. Some YouTubers are just there because they care about their own health, and that's it. They don't give a shit about the animals. But, if he could change, if he could switch, I mean, obviously that's what I want. I mean, I talk about it, I say it. Like, I hope this guy chokes on a chicken bone one day. Really, I mean it. Like, no, that's not a death threat. It's just what I actually wish. I really wish it would happen, because I think he's making the world a worse place. But ideally, a better thing would be that he becomes vegan. That would be so great. Mm-hmm. Because he has his own daughter who's also pursuing in his footsteps, also cooking. She has her own, like, I don't know how many millions of followers she has, like 4, 5, 6 million on TikTok, doing the same thing. Terrible.
My turn. Hi, Miss Katie. I'd like to know if killing animals in a video game is being a non-vegan. Well,
you go first, Jack.
Well, I'd say that if I was playing Grand Theft Auto and I killed someone, then I wouldn't be murdering them, because it's just a video game. So if I'm doing it in Minecraft or something, I don't think it's immoral to do it. However, I'd rather, like, my son plays Minecraft, and I prefer him not to do it. But really, does it make any difference? I don't know. It kind of enforces that message of carnism. So I try and keep away from it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
If your son plays Minecraft and you don't want him to do it, why does he do it? Why don't you just take it away from him?
Well, because I'm not there most of the time.
So what?
Obviously.
So what? When you're not there, just go hide it, and that's it. Give him a book.
No, sorry. Obviously, because I work away from home, it's difficult. It's difficult, yeah. But obviously, I talk to him about it because he goes on Minecraft, and on Minecraft, you have to make things with eggs and stuff, like, in order to, I don't know, you have to bake a cake or something, and you have to use the eggs. So he can't play it without using the eggs. But I explain to him when he's playing, I say, you use eggs on Minecraft, but in real life, we wouldn't do that, would we? And I explain why we wouldn't do it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you should quiz him once in a while. Okay, what's an egg replacer? All right, well, tell me the ingredients. Yeah, banana
or chia seeds or
water, flax seeds and water, chia seeds and water. You just need something that's going to make a binding ingredient, just make things stick. All right. Wait, what else?
Sorry, what was your answer for that? Sorry.
I need your opinion. Oh, mine. Oh, do I have to? Damn it! I was hoping to get away with it. Look, I'm just somebody who believes that the less violence, the better. And I just think that these things, and I just did a video, and I haven't posted it yet, but it's I did a reaction to somebody, anyway, where I said, I just don't think that kids should be playing video games. I just don't. I don't see anything good that comes out of it. I think that in an adult, we just put all this stuff away and we give a kids books. Do you know how much there is to learn about history? Like, these are stories. I don't know much about history, but there is so much to learn, and it's interesting. And giving kids video games at all, I mean, it's so hard in the pressure. We have so much societal pressure, right? First of all, you have to get 2 parents that agree. Then what's going to happen is your kid's going to go to a friend's house and they're going to play there anyway. So you have to try to find friends whose parents also don't think that video games are good for them. And then you have to, agree that there's, like, it's hard. It's almost impossible.
Yeah. The only one positive thing though with video games is that my son really struggled with spelling, and he got onto, I think it was Minecraft, and he had to learn all the names for all the different things. And now he's actually great at spelling because he's been playing it. So I think there are some positives, but I agree with you. The positives do not outweigh the benefits. Sorry, the benefits don't outweigh the negatives.
Well, I'm going to challenge you on that.
Go on.
All right, you ready? Because I love you, so I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Right? But okay. Oh, bullshit, Jack. Okay, here's why. Because he's going to learn how to spell anyway. You're going to give him books, and he's going to learn how to spell, and he's going to learn about history or science, about all the different nutrients in different plants. Can your kid name 10 different types of trees? Nobody can.
No.
Like, seriously, people can name an oak tree, a maple tree, like a Christmas tree, but our kids are so brain dead because we teach nothing of importance. Does your kid know how to, anything about banking, anything about the stock market? I mean, basic stuff, basic coding. Okay, every single time that you give a kid these things to hold in their hand, that is 1 minute of their life that is wasted. You just don't need it. You can give your kids computers, but they can learn how to spell, how to write. Just give them books that are interesting stories about what have happened. Because if we do not learn from history, we are doomed to repeat it. And there's so much to learn. And there are great stories that are written about history meant for kids and science, like everything. Just, if you give your kid a banana, right? Your kid should be able to recite, should be able to tell you what are the 3 main nutrients in a banana that are good for you. Okay, what's your son's name?
Archie.
Hey, Archie, you're going to be allowed to play video games if you tell me what are the 3 main nutrients in a banana. Google that first, and then I'll let you play for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? People just, I'm such a hard ass though. I know I'm not the norm, but I just think that's how I feel. What do we have here? Oh, thank you so much for the donation. It's an online game that it's online games that are the issue. Be vegan and play Donkey Kong. What's Donkey Kong?
No idea. I mean, I know it was around on the Nintendo 64 when I was a kid, but I don't know what it is now.
Oh, I'll show you what a Kong is. This is what I think a Kong is. This is a brand of a rubbery thing. It says Kong on it. I put treats for our dog in here, right? Everybody who has a dog probably knows what these are. That's a Kong, what I think. I don't know what a Donkey Kong is, but I guess it's some sort of a video game. And if you're learning, see, what I think we should be doing is there should be amazing video games created where we defend animals, where we protect the environment. Imagine one where you have kids that are going swimming in the ocean and taking out the nets that are surrounded on the turtles and whales, and they're swimming and they're working together in a team to cut the there's just so much possibility out there.
They could call it Sea Shepherd.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I love it. Whoever's listening who is able to create these games, that's what we need. It's not the video game idea itself. It's just that every minute that your kid is not learning something is a waste of their life. I mean, even just learning, the self-discipline of doing one thing before you get handed these remotes. But the problem again is that unless you have people in your family and in your child's milieu who support this, the second your kid leaves your property or goes to friends' houses that don't support it, they are so conflicted because they're like, how come dad, doesn't let me play Minecraft unless I tell him the main 3 vitamins and minerals inside of a banana, and you get to play, they're going to get pissed off at you. So I don't know. I just think this is my personal feeling. Yeah. Okay. So somebody writes here. So watching this is a waste of my time. Well, Jesse, if you're not learning anything right now, if you're not inspired to become vegan and to stop killing animals, and you're not inspired by Jack here, who is in the army and doing the same thing as I am, then bye-bye, leave. If you're not learning something here, go. You shouldn't be here. Go and read a book instead. Go and read a book about veganism. Go follow another vegan person, somebody else that inspires you. I'm just here to give the clicks to the people that I can help. But if I'm not helping you, then don't waste your time. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think a lot of these people say these kind of things because they're just trying to troll you and wind you up. I almost think you shouldn't rise. I mean, when I get these kind of comments on the TikTok channel, I'd normally, if you have a look at the replies that I put, they're normally quite sarcastic. And one guy the other day, he said, for every time you eat meat, for every time you mention vegan, I'm going to eat twice as much meat. And I kept talking about it until I got to the point where he couldn't possibly eat that much meat. I mean, there wouldn't be enough time in the day to eat that much meat. Right. These people are just trying to wind you up, and yeah.
And again, what they do, that's not in your control. You can only control what you do. What they do is it's on them. They try to do that all the time. You must get this too, where they say, "Oh, wait, I want to actually show this one." There's a comment here. Okay, do I have another TikTok? I always have a TikTok on the go, actually. But yes, Vegan Noah. This is somebody who I subscribe to. Avant-garde vegan. This is a vegan who is on YouTube, and he is an ethical animal rights activist. He doesn't talk about the animals that much, but if you see his video where he says why he's vegan, he talks about the animals, and he talks about Gary Yourofsky. So yeah, he makes great recipes. Go and check him out. And there are others, and I'm going to be doing other videos in the future about different vegans who are ethical and offering you which sites I think you should follow. Yeah. So what do we have here? Somebody says to watch Seaspiracy and Cowspiracy. What do you think? Is that a good suggestion?
Yeah, I mean, I watched Seaspiracy twice now, and it's mind-blowing. There's stuff in there that I didn't even know, and I thought I knew a lot. So yeah, it's definitely Seaspiracy is the one I'd watch first, because I think that it's surprising how much damage we're doing to this planet just through the oceans. So yeah, definitely go ahead and watch that one, and then if you're happy with that, then go watch Cowspiracy.
Can you tell everyone a little bit about Seaspiracy? What different animals you saw, and what you felt, what you learned, either some statistics or what you felt?
Well, towards the end of the film, they just show like a mass killing of dolphins in Japan. And it's just horrendous, really. And they do this, they kill these dolphins for no other reason than the fact that the dolphins are eating the fish and they want the fish supplies. So to boost the fish stocks, they just kill the dolphins. So yeah, if you're a dolphin lover, if you're any kind of animal lover, you shouldn't be eating this kind of stuff. This is the thing. A lot of people think, oh, well, I don't really care about fish, but you don't have to care about fish. Everybody cares about turtles. If you care about turtles, dolphins, any of them, then you should stop eating fish to save them.
Exactly. It's horrendous to kill a bunch of innocent dolphins just to get the fish. And there's no reason for it. We can get all the nutrients that we need from plants. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics has proven that a vegan diet is healthful for all stages of development, whether you are a new baby, a toddler, a child, a teenager, an adult, a grandparent, a pregnant mother, or a breastfeeding mother. You can be vegan. So why choose to harm any sentient beings if you don't have to? Be vegan. And your pets should be vegan too, as much as is possible. That's what the definition of veganism is. Just do your best at all times. My dog Bella has been eating vegan food since August 2017, and she's happy and healthy. And there are many dogs around the world, millions of vegan dogs. I'm not just the only one. It's just that people don't know about it yet, but it's coming out.
I was going to mention with your vegan dog, everybody says that it's cruel that you feed a dog a vegan diet because a dog is a natural omnivore, but they forget the fact that pigs are natural omnivores and they pay for them to also eat vegan diets. So if they're against omnivores eating vegan diets, then they need to stop eating pigs. Otherwise, they're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
They don't.
Hypocrisy is the norm among vegetarians and non-vegans. Yeah. Vegans. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say as well, a lot of people say, oh yeah, you need to feed your dog a vegan diet. I say to them, okay, sure, I'll feed my dog a meat diet. Which animal shall I kill to feed my dog? And then when they say the animal that they'd kill, I'd say, well, what's the difference between that animal and your dog? And obviously, it just comes down to culture. That's all they've got.
That's right.
Which is just a story we've been told. That's all it is.
Right. So I get this one often. Bella wasn't vegan. She ate a rabbit. Look at the giant letters there, just to make sure that everybody sees that. And I've answered this many times. So here's the story. Bella is vegan in the sense that I only buy vegan products for her. I buy a brand of dog food, and you can see it in the description. It's a company called Vigor, VGRRR.com. If somebody who's moderating could write that, that would be great. Vigor, VGRRR.com. Go to my description and you can order vegan food there. It's just kibble. I'll show you. Hold on. I have it in a container. Oh no, Bella just jumped down when I brought out the, you want some, sweetie? Okay. So I just keep it in this container. You see? It's just like normal. Come say hi. Come on. Come up. Oh, you don't want to come on the chair? Come on. Come. Good girl. So here's Bella. There you go. See, she loves it. Just regular vegan dog food. Just looks like normal dog food. I'm going to give her a little bit. Come here. Yeah. So Bella eats vegan dog food and she loves it. It's just like normal dog food. It's super easy. Usually I add some water to it because it's better for her. And she ate, when we were out one time, she found, we were in the golf course in the winter and everybody walks their dogs there and we were a pile of people. And it was starting to melt the snow and there was a rabbit that had been half eaten by some other animal or something. And she just came out, she dug and she came out with a rabbit foot in her mouth. And I did not stop her. And the reason I didn't stop her is because being vegan is about not harming animals. I did not harm any animals. She ate a little bit of it and then she left it. And that's the story. So she is a vegan dog. I am vegan because I did not cause any harm. And it's as simple as that. So what part of that do you not understand? Gustav Berzins, if you have another comment, a follow-up, go ahead and write it. I'll try to find it. There's a lot of different comments here, but essentially that's it. It doesn't mean that she's not vegan. It means that she is, I am not hurting animals for her. I am not going to pay anybody to hurt any other animals for her. Why would I do that if I don't have to? Makes no sense.
I think people quite often forget that veganism is a philosophy, not a diet as well. So a dog can't technically be vegan because a dog can't understand philosophy. But yeah, of course, vegan dogs can be healthy on a vegan diet, but they're not vegan in terms of their philosophy.
Yeah, I just say that, but I know what it's just because it's easy, but I agree with you. But, because it's a choice, yeah. Yeah. Okay. But I call her vegan. I say Bella vegan dog because it's just easier. It's not Bella the dog who is vegan because her whatever.
Exactly.
What do you want to call me? You know, her companion human doesn't want to pay for the rape, torture, and murder of animals in this.
Yeah, but people get confused as well because I mean, in theory, if you went vegan overnight and you had some eggs or something in your fridge and they were going to go to waste otherwise, in theory you could finish them off if you wanted to not waste food, and that would be vegan to do so because it'd be, you know, there'd be nothing wrong with that. I mean, nothing unethical about that.
And now somebody will say to you, Jack, but what about the animals who are already dead in the fridge in the store? What's the difference?
Well, you've got to pay for them and it's the supply and demand and you're funding it. So that's the difference there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to think sort of hard about this one, but about where I stand on things like that, because people say, what about I still have leather shoes? I have a leather coat. I have a leather couch. There's leather seats in my car. And I always say to people, just don't buy anything new. That's why I have the shirt. That's why I have the shirt. It says vegan from now on. That means from now on, do not take your money out of your wallet or give your credit card to buy anything that harms animals from now on. Everything else you have, you're not hurting the animal by keeping on wearing the leather shoes. You have to be careful though, because people will challenge you and saying, "Oh, you're a hypocrite." So you have to take the time and say, "Look, I'm waiting until my leather shoes are worn out," because it doesn't do any good to the environment for me to throw them somewhere and buy something else. I mean, we are also, if we care about the animals, we care about the environment, and we're not going to waste things.
Exactly. I mean, I was just going to say that you stole the words out of my mouth, because I was going to say, if you care about the environment and yet you're causing further environmental damage, you could argue the most vegan thing to do would be to wear them out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like when you have a wool sweater, you know, most wool sweaters are extremely expensive. They're sometimes hand knitted, and that thing could last you 50 years, right? So why would you throw it out? But you could at the same time leave it as bedding for your dog if you wanted, and that would be giving back to the animals. So, so somebody writes, I am better being an omnivore than being a vegan. No, you're not.
Not morally, not ethically. Better in what way? Better at causing more harm? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's true. You're better at causing more harm.
Yeah.
You see, this isn't about you and how you feel. It's about the animals. You are not a better human if you pay somebody to kill somebody who didn't want to die and who was sentenced, terrified, begging for their life into a gas chamber or to have their throat slit. No, you're not better. So why are you saying that? Did you not listen to any of the lesson here? Get out of this classroom if you're not going to pay attention. We're here to talk about the animals. We don't need your bullshit comment talking about yourself. This is about the animals. All right, here we go. Another one. Earthling Ed is better than you, Jack.
Oh yeah, well he is. Like he's way better than me.
I think they mean me, but yeah.
Well, even if that's directed at you, the thing is, this isn't really a competition, because I know that you want the same thing I want as the same thing Earthling Ed wants. I'm not in competition with you. We're both on the same side. So this would be like saying this football player is better than you when you're in the game. You all want to score the goal. So we don't care who's better than who. We just want the same goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on a football team, you have people that play different positions. Some of them are runners, they're super skinny and they run fast and they're good at catching, and others are super strong and they like bulldoze through people. You're all on the same team. You want to win. You all have different things that you bring to the table. We are all different. I cannot I can't reach a bunch of British Army people and teach them to be vegan. I don't have access to them. So you do it your way, I do it my way. I am out there on TikTok to try. That's what I was trying to do. And I'm still here doing it, trying to raise awareness, trying to remind you to look in the mirror and be nice to yourself. And every time you go shopping, be nice to the animals. Every time you open your fridge, be nice to the animals. Don't hurt them. Earthling Ed does many things that are great. I could argue that I think he should be a little bit tougher sometimes, but we're all different. He could argue that he thinks I'm being too tough. We're all different. And it's all good as long as we're all working towards protecting the animals. That's what I think. Jack.
The COVID vaccine. Oh, this is interesting because I don't know your position. But no, I think that we should take it. I think that even if there was, I know that on some of them they've had some small amount of animal testing, but by not taking it, we're excluding ourselves as a group, making us look almost more, I don't want to use the word extreme because veganism is not extreme, but it makes us look like a group that's a bit out there. And also from a, for overall, it's going to cause less suffering if we take it, because there's so many people who are going to get this virus that are vulnerable. And by not taking it, we don't actually save any animals. So yeah, my position is that if you want it, if you're happy with it, you should take it, but no one should force it on you. And if you don't want to take it, that's fine as well.
Yeah, is the COVID vaccine vegan? It's such a difficult one when we talk about products. Like, let's say we're talking about makeup that's tested on animals. It's in a whole other realm. You're shoving these chemicals into a poor bunny rabbit's eyes just so you can wear eyeshadow and mascara. That's bullshit. Nobody should be buying those things. Here we're talking about saving the lives of people who are sometimes animal rights activists, who are there to do it better. If let's say I drop dead, I know so many people would be cheering, like, yay, she's finally dead. But you know what the animals would be doing? They wouldn't be cheering, because I am their voice. And as somebody who can come out and speak on their behalf, it is my duty to take care of myself and not drop dead. So anybody who's an animal rights activist, again, being vegan is about doing the least harm. And I think that by taking the vaccine, we are doing the least harm. Jack, let's listen to a couple more and then I'm going to let you go, because we've been here an hour and 12 minutes. It's been so much fun. Just let's let Jack tell you, because everybody knows what I think of vegetarians. I think vegetarians are terrible. You need to be vegan, and you need to do it right now. Stop paying for the rape and the torture and the murder of innocent cows. Baby cows are murdered because of you, because you drink milk and you drink cheese. You eat cheese that comes from their milk. Stop it. Stop eating eggs. The cycle. Go to egg-truth.com. Egg-truth.com. Watch Dominion. You will understand why. I explained it at the beginning of this video. I know it's live, and I already explained that being vegetarian is just as bad as anybody else who eats pigs or chickens or goes to McDonald's on a regular basis. You need to stop because you're eating too many products that come from animals. And now I'll let Jack answer.
Yeah, so on this one, what I'd say is that if you're vegetarian for ethical reasons, because you want to reduce animal suffering, then you obviously don't understand the animal suffering that goes on in those industries.
Yeah,
so,
or they don't give a shit, really, and they're not really.
Well, if you don't care, then then you could, I just wonder why you'd be vegetarian in the first place. But yeah, if you actually connect with the animals so you don't want to eat them, then you should do the same thing for milk and eggs, because you could argue that the milk and egg industry are worse than the meat industry, because not only are they killed for their flesh, but they're tortured beforehand as well. So it's actually worse.
Why don't you explain a little bit about how they treat the animals when you say tortured? Some people honestly don't know.
Yeah, okay. No, if
just give me 1 second. Let me just take it back a little bit, okay? Wib and Vows, whatever your name is, okay? Maybe you really don't know, because honestly, I didn't know either. I was vegetarian for a long time, and I thought I was doing great. Like you, I'm going to take the side now of maybe you just don't know, but I think you know. I mean, most people just ask me this, even though I just answered, and they're just trying to shit, just shit on my parade here and just do it. But maybe you honestly don't know. So if you honestly don't know, then we're going to let Jack explain it to you in detail. What happens to in the dairy industry and the poultry industry?
Okay, so in the dairy industry, what they do is they forcibly inseminate the females after forcibly extracting the semen from a bull. And then after they do that, the cow obviously has a baby. The reason they do this is to produce milk. But the milk they produce doesn't go to their baby because they need that milk. So what they do is, if it's a female baby, they'll keep it farmed off. They'll feed it a short bit of milk for a period of time, and then they'll put it away, put it to the side, put the cow to the side, and they'll grow it so that it can have the same lifestyle of being forcibly impregnated. If it's male, they'll kill it shortly after, because it's no use to the dairy industry. And just like the poultry industry, they are the wrong breed for beef, so there's no use for them, and they'll just kill them. In the poultry industry, they breed the chickens to begin with. If they're male, they're useless, and they'll get ground up or gassed alive on their first day of life. If they're not male, they're female, then they'll be put in a free-range egg-laying yard, which is basically a factory farm, where they're forced to endure a short life of about 6 weeks, where they're quite likely to break legs because their bodies are so malnourished, and eventually they'll be sent to slaughter after a life of laying eggs for.
Thank you. Now here is a comment. Why don't you read this, Jack?
It says, follow vegan channels. Gary Roski, Cosmic Skeptic. Yep, Cosmic Skeptic. He's good. Earthling Ed, Joey Carbstrong, David Brams. Yep, can't disagree with that.
Let me ask you a question. What do all these people have in common that you can see?
They're all male, and they're all white.
Right. Yeah. So, look, I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that every single time? Look, I'm not one of these people. Okay, here's my stance on this, okay? I think that if you're hiring somebody for a job and you have a black guy and you have a white guy, let's say it's the Army, okay? And they're exactly their CVs are the same. I say you hire the black guy because, if it's the same, you give them a little push, okay? It's the same if you have two CVs. You got a man and a woman, and their CVs are the same. You're going to hire the woman. Maybe you're going to just hire the woman just because you know that women just, in general, haven't really caught up. You're just going to be just a little bit nicer, all right? So, but I'm not one of these people who thinks that you should automatically have a certain percentage of black people and a certain percentage of people in wheelchairs and a certain percentage of black, whatever, what is the word? Middle Eastern lesbians, with, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
You can't. You got to get the best person for the job, right? But it is interesting, isn't it? Like, how do you explain this? That all of these activists are all male. Let's not go with the skin color. Let's not go with the skin color right now, okay? Let's start with the fact that they're all male. And we were going to stop this conversation, but I want to know, why the fuck did you not mention 5 women? And I challenge you right now in the comment section, name 5 female animal rights activists, because believe it or not, they fucking exist, and you should find them, and you should promote them. You should not be just saying only these men. It's not okay. We need to balance this out. Something is seriously wrong with it. And you know what's a weird thing? If you ask me to name the top animal rights activists that I can think of, I would say the same thing. Why? Because we don't lift up women. And let me ask you this. Who do you know that's a woman who's over 50? Now try that. See if you can find one besides me. This is why I got kicked off of TikTok, because I was such an easy target. You know? I mean, this is a theory. People will say, no, it's because you're a bitch. Okay, maybe. But then explain this. Explain this list here. So that's what I'm just saying. I'm not mad at you. I love nature. I love this person. You know, this person's always super nice. And you should follow these people, yes. But I challenge you all. And does anybody in the comment section see a single other woman? I'm going to look. You look too for a sec, okay, Jack? See if we see any names of women. People are like, oh my God, I can just picture people right now. Let's quickly Google female animal rights activists and impress Miss Katie that they actually exist.
Well, Dr. Melanie Joy should be in there because she is one of the best. So, Freely the Banana Girl, yeah.
Daniel, I think I got a note here from my assistant that you paid $5. Thank you so much. Things are going. I'm so busy talking, Daniel. Daniel, by the way, thank you so much for your letter. It was so sweet of you. I didn't get to tell you in person, but Daniel sent me a card. And it was just like so touching. So thank you. And yes, look at that. Freely the Banana Girl, that vegan teacher. Okay, but I meant besides me. And that vegan teacher UK. Now, come on, bring them on. We need more. Not just that vegan teacher, me, but more. I want to see the names of other female animal rights activists. And this person who wrote, God bless Gordon Ramsay, I am going to delete you right now. Put user in timeout. Bye-bye. All right.
Vegan Gaze is in the comment section saying, I'm female. So.
Yes. All right. Somebody write her name. Where is she? Where is she? I want to put her on the screen. Vegan Gaze is another person who is female, and she is a great animal rights activist. She's an ethical animal rights activist. I think she said she was 24, and she's in Britain, and you should all follow her. Where is her thing? Oh, and of course, Tash Peterson. Tash is amazing. She's in Australia. And she's a badass female animal rights activist. And these are the ones I want you guys to keep starting to promote. She is also, I think she's 27. And she goes in and she does protests. And she even held a real pig's head to show the disgraceful industries. She's gone into McDonald's wearing outfits all covered in blood and saying, watch Dominion. That's all she's doing. She's telling people to watch. And she's getting yelled at. And she's getting dragged out. And she's just amazing. And she ran out onto a football pitch with a big sign that said, watch Dominion or something to that effect, or pro. Anyways, I interviewed her and I think she's great. So you guys write down these names. Now, where is Vegan Gaze? I want her to, I'm going to type her name myself. Vegan Gaze. All right, let's see if this works. I'm going to put her name. All right, now I'm going to put it on the screen. That worked. Vegan Gaze. You know what I love about her? Is at first she didn't necessarily agree with everything I did, like everybody else. You know, everybody thinks I'm just a little bit off. But you know what's great about her? She has been coming to my comment section and helping to educate people. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that from another animal rights activist. Because typically what people do is they have their own channels and they work at doing their own thing, like tunnel vision. But that's not what she's been doing. I turn on I do these premieres, and all of a sudden I see her there, and she's like educating people and having conversations on the side and challenging people. And that is what I love. I appreciate that so much. I hope she's still here. So thank you if you're still here somewhere. Okay. That's great. Anybody else? Are there any others that I missed? Oh, what's this here? Okay. DJ Cat, Vegan Gaze, that vegan teacher, that vegan lawyer. I don't know the vegan lawyer yet. Do you, Jack?
No, never heard of.
Freely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to write it down. That vegan lawyer. Where's that vegan lawyer from? Who can Google that vegan lawyer for me? I want to see if I should be promoting this person. Are they actually vegan? Or are they just trying to make a buck by saying, hey, I'll defend you if you need a court. Maybe that's what I don't know. Right. So yeah. Oh, is there anything else? Do you guys see any more? I have this here. You want to read this?
Go protest. We need a vegan world.
You forgot to read the rest. Planet. Gay and lesbian rainbow flag. No, I'm kidding. Yes, we need it. Oh God, what now? What? Oh, please take it, Jack. Take it, Jack.
Well, I can't remember the exact statistic, but I know that eggs have got like if you eat 2 eggs, you're over your daily amount of cholesterol. So just like in a 2-egg omelette, you're already over that. So if you're eating that every day, then that's not going to be good for your heart or your cholesterol levels at all. In fact, eggs are not even allowed to be sold as a healthy food product in the United States, at least.
And how healthy is it to eat eggs when in the industry we're murdering their brothers and sisters? How healthy is it for the chickens who died in that industry? The baby boy chicks who at the beginning I explained, they get put into blenders. Somebody turns this thing on and murders baby boy chicks because they will never be able to lay eggs. Eating eggs is a disgraceful sin, and you should stop it right now. Never buy eggs again. And I don't care if it's from a happy farm. Jack, why don't you tell them what's wrong to eat any eggs?
Because there's no good way of breeding the chickens into existence. There's just no good way. You've always got to kill the male chickens. But even if you didn't, even if they found like some magical way, you're still going to have to exploit that chicken who lays an unnatural amount of eggs throughout his lifetime. So naturally, they lay around. I think about
her.
Yes, her. Yeah, she naturally lays around, I think 12 to 14 a year. But we genetically modify them to produce around 300 a year. So yeah, and that causes things like osteoporosis in their bones, and which causes them to break their legs, and some of them never even end up going to slaughter. So I don't think, I mean, she might be vegan, but she's not vegan for animal rights as far as I know. I've not heard her say anything.
She has stated that she's vegan, but she is really an environmentalist more than somebody who is vegan for the animals. I have not heard her talk about the animals. Maybe she has, maybe a little bit, but she is definitely vegan. I've heard her say that. And the fact that she's protecting their environment is a big thing. If the animals don't have oceans and clean air, and they don't have a planet that they can walk on without being absorbed, just inundated with plastic and pollution, then it's over. So if you care about the planet and you're vegan because you're protecting the planet, that's great. But first and foremost, you should do it with always the animals in mind. That's all we're saying. We should hang up. Okay, it's 1:26. Let's try and wrap it up soon. But these I'm just having so much fun. I could just stay here for hours with you, Jack.
Yeah.
Go ahead, take this one.
Okay, well, I know that he isn't vegan. He's not even vegetarian. I think that he is like Dr. Melanie Joy, who is a female activist. And if you haven't watched any of her stuff, you need to go and watch it. She talks a lot about vegan allies. And the way I see Arnold Schwarzenegger is as a vegan ally. So he's on our side. He agrees with us. However, he's not pulling his weight in terms of animal ethics. So, well, he only agrees with us on the environmental stuff, really. So really, he needs to just make that connection. But yeah, he's not vegan at all. Yeah.
Personally, I think he's a piece of shit. I don't think he's vegan. I don't even think he's an ally, and I'll tell you why. I thought he was an ally. Okay, when the movie was first coming out, The Game Changers, they were saying Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it, and it's going to be great to pull in. And I was freaking out. I was on Facebook at the time before I think this is before TikTok, and I said I was typing to everybody like, "This is Sarah, bad idea. We got to get him out of the video. That's not good because he is not vegan, and people are gonna find out." So you can. I still recommend the movie, by the way, The Game Changers. But what he does is later on, he shows videos of himself literally eating a turkey. That's not an ally. I'm sorry, but that's not an ally. It's you're an ally if you eat the turkey and you hide behind and you don't tell people, but you say, "Look, I support vegans. I support vegans. I'm not vegan, but I support them." But when you actively turn the camera on yourself at Thanksgiving, it's impossible to say that somebody like that is an ally because he's Arnold. People are going to be like, "Oh, Arnold eating turkey. Let's go eat turkey. So sorry, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you didn't know that about him, but he also eats eggs, raw eggs. Like he's just a.
I know. Yeah, I know he went around at Christmas time and gave out loads of turkeys, which made absolutely no sense.
That's not an ally. That can't be an ally. We are like, I know we're desperate. We're desperate to save the animals, but you know, we gotta call it like it is and just say no. So, but I do tell people to still watch the movie because there's a lot of good things in the movie that I think are great.
The same could be said for someone like David Attenborough, who's a massive environmentalist. He agrees that we need to stop eating meat, but he hasn't made the connection and he still eats it himself. And you could say he's a vegan ally, but actually he's just an environmentalist ally. But if that gets people on board, a lot of people might look at veganism from the environmental point of view and then switch to the ethics when they understand. I mean, James Aspey was a perfect example of somebody who switched. He switched for the health benefits and then found out about the ethical benefits. So
yeah, he's definitely vegan for the animals, I think. Now you can tell.
No, James Aspey is, yeah.
Whenever you see a public display of meat, dairy, or stolen eggs, give it the middle finger. This person is quoting one of my songs. Thanks, Noah, vegan Noah. You cry every day because of vegan phobia, and then you get out of bed and you get on with your life. That's it. It's okay to cry because people are mean. They will lie about you. The amount of lies that have been told about me are horrific. I never thought that people could be so cruel. They say that I broke 8 Canadian laws. I never broke one. They say that I murdered somebody. I never did. They say that I ran over someone with a car. I never did. They say that I spread feces all over the walls of a restaurant. I never did. There's all kinds of lies that they tell. They say that my dog Bella's dying. She isn't. She's perfectly fine. She's vegan and she's doing great. I mean, these are just a few off the top of my head. So yeah, it's terrible. When you start to realize that all of your neighbors think that you are this terrible person, and they don't even listen, they don't have any idea of who you really are, it's scary. Because people, if you think that somebody is that mean, of course you're going to want to, either stay away from them, not look at them or whatever. It's awful. But be vegan and be out of the closet and be tough. Cry, but get the fuck up. The animals need us.
Yeah, I think one thing with vegan phobia is you just kind of have to accept that right now we're living in the world as it is, and this is just the way it is. The only person who's going to change it is you. If you don't change it, well, no one else is going to do it. So you've just got to accept that's the way it is. And obviously, it's difficult. It's difficult when you're going to get constantly bombarded with rubbish. But that's why I think the first thing I did when I set up the TikTok account was do it. I didn't show my face. I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll set it up, not show my face, allow comments, allow myself to answer, and then I'd introduce my voice. I'd speak over some of the videos, and then I'd finally show my face, and I'd get more and more confident. And that way, you build confidence rather than just jumping in head first and becoming overwhelmed with the backlash that you get.
Mm-hmm. It's a good idea. And certainly, I personally think when it's kids that are on TikTok, I think that they should just not look at the comment section at all. It can be so sad to see how cruel people are. One of the most shocking things for me was to see the duets that people did of me. And then there were so many adults who would deliberately just be eating chicken and animals, just all kinds of animals. And so the kids would see these if I was a parent, I would not let my kid go on TikTok and just, because you don't know what your kid is seeing. Your kid is seeing terrible examples of adults. Like, think of it. You wouldn't have put your kid in school and have a shitty teacher teaching them all this terrible values. But yet you give your kid the phone and you say, hey, go have fun. Here's an iPad. Go have fun on TikTok. Do you have any idea what they're seeing, what they're learning, and there's no adult there to police it? That's why I think it is horrible that they would kick off a 56-year-old grandmother who is a nurse and a teacher, kick her off the app. People like me are needed there to help police the place and help educate people, help give kids hugs, even if it's across this way, but, to give them a hug and say, man, that, this is terrible. Don't listen to that adult and don't imitate them. But kids would just imitate these horrific examples.
Yeah, I mean, children are, they're so impressionable as well. Like they'll absorb it a lot more than somebody like my age. I I can deflect it a bit more. But when you're a child, it does seem like it's very, very daunting and very, very personal if someone attacks you. So yeah, turn your comment section off if it bothers you.
Yeah, turn it off and don't show your face. You don't have to show your face. You can just listen, like I said, listen to some sounds. I have sounds there under That Vegan Teacher, Miss Katie. Just click on the sound. You can still dance to a sound from here down. You can have a message on your t-shirt that says vegan from now on, or don't hurt the animals, or whatever. Which reminds me, I'm going to be having more merch. I only have a couple of shirts right now. I'm just so overwhelmed with designing them that I have a bunch of them that are ready to go. And I'm going to have different mugs that you can buy that give a vegan message that you can, keep at work, that say things like be kind to animals. All kinds of things are coming. So, yeah. You want to read that one?
God will never bless Gordon Ramsay. God will send him to hell for being a murderer.
If you believe in heaven and hell, you might be right, because it does say in the Bible, thou shalt not kill. And when you're paying somebody to kill for you, it's kind of the same thing. I personally don't believe in heaven and hell. And I never said, the only person I said you're going to hell to is that guy, John Robert Bell, because it rhymed with hell. And I was playing my ukulele. John Robert Bell, you're going straight to hell. But as that was the only person, everybody else, I just said this. I said, heaven is for good people. That's what I said. I never told any kids you're going to hell because if you're vegan. I never said that. People say that I said that. But I said heaven is for good people. And that, I think, is, if you believe in heaven and hell, that, you could pretty much agree. Let's see. What's this? Yeah.
Yep. If you don't know where to find vegan pet food, make sure to go to vgrr.com.
Yeah. vgrr.com. Link in my description. Go there, click on the thing, and you can get vegan pet food. It's great. All right. So,
That Vegan Teacher, can I interview you on how veganism is the best thing on Discord?
Well, Chad, I don't know who you are, and I'm telling you right now, my life is so booked up. If you saw my Instagram, it has thousands of messages. So anybody who tries to reach me, I'm just literally taking my iPad all over with me. I'm on the toilet with my iPad. I'm like, okay, let's look through in case somebody's trying to, spam. Oh, here's a message. Oh, I might have missed this one. Like I have missed so many reporters who were trying to talk to me from different news outlets, because nobody knows how to locate me, because they took my phone number. Anytime I give out an email address, it is spammed with 40,000 emails. It's crazy. So, do I have time to be interviewed by you? I'm sorry, but I could say, oh yeah, we'll talk about it after. But the truth is, no, I can't be interviewed by you. I do the interviewing. And if you are a vegan animal rights activist, what I tell you to do is make a video explaining why you think that the things I say are good. And then I will do a video talking about how great your video is. That's what I can offer you. If you're a vegan animal rights activist out there, like Jack ended up on my show here in my classroom because he's a vegan animal rights activist and because he's spoken defense of me. That's where I'm at. If you believe that the things that I'm doing are good, make a 7-minute video on YouTube. I will look at it. I will give you a grade. I will give you some check marks, give you some X's if you got any. Hopefully you won't get any and you'll get 100% on your report card. That's what you should be doing. So we could be here all night, but I think that we're going to maybe end it here. I don't know maybe one last one.
Make sure you watch the important documentaries, get your 100 clicks, and become vegan from now on. Go to Challenge 22 for help. The animals need you. Yep.
Yeah. Can't add much. That's great.
Yeah, there's nothing really to add to that. I mean, Challenge 22 is a 22-day challenge. They say it's 21 days to break a habit and an extra day for good luck. But really, once you understand the why, the how is easy. So once you understand why you're doing the vegan diet or the vegan lifestyle, because it's not really a diet, then the how you do it, you find a way and you'll make a way, and it's not difficult.
Yes, so great. It's true. You just need to get into the habit of doing something. It's like anything. You want to do push-ups every day, you just start doing them. You want to be more flexible, you start doing them. For me, for example, one of the things I do every single day is I do a handstand. I just throw myself upside down against a wall. I've been doing it for ages. And if I just do one a day, imagine I'm 56. Maybe I'll be able to do it at 66, 76, 86. It's just a habit. You get into good habits. And I'm going back again to the thing about video games and why I don't believe that video games are good for kids. It's simply because it is a chunk of time that's taken out of your day where you could be working on doing a handstand every day, where you could be helping somebody else. There are so many animals suffering so badly. We need to help educate kids kids even can write when they learn about what happens in the animal agriculture industry. They can make books. Kids are amazing artists at drawing, right? We need kids in this movement, and we need to get them away from this mindless pressing of buttons. I mean, maybe a certain amount, like I said, you could argue that you might be using some sort of skills of learning how to build things, but really, can you not learn how to build a website? Can you not learn how to code or how to just do research about animal sanctuaries and all that the animals are going through? I just think there's such a better use of children's time.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think video games are a waste of time. I just think that there isn't an easy fix. I know they are in my house, and I know that it's difficult. It's difficult to get them off because all their friends are on it.
Very hard. Yeah, we have a whole. It's like being vegan in a non-vegan world. It's not. It's easy in itself, but it's the pressures from out in the rest of the world when you go out there and you try to be vegan, and there's so much vegan phobia, and then you suffer from vistopia, which is the anguish of being vegan in a non-vegan world, and that's what I suffer from. I have vistopia. I suffer. I am suffering because I find it very difficult to live among people who I see as walking zombies who just pay to murder these animals, even though they know. Those who don't know, I can never be mad at them if they don't know. But it's the ones that I've talked to about veganism, and they've seen the documentaries, and they keep on hurting the animals. That is terrifying to know that there are so many cruel people like that.
Well, I actually met a guy a few months ago, and we were eating in the cookhouse together. And he said to me, I was talking to him about animal rights, and he said, "Oh, I love animals more than humans. I'd never hurt an animal." And I said to him, "Look on your plate. You've got a dead pig on there." And he was like, "Yeah, that's different. That's different." And people are so disconnected, like you say. And even then, he went and watched Land of Hope and Glory, which, if you haven't seen that, it's a UK expose of factory farming, and he went and watched that, and he still didn't change. Like months after, he still didn't change, and it's so frustrating watching people like that.
The thing is about people like that is, again, it takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. He might have seen a Land of Hope and Glory, but maybe for him, even though it talks about all the different types of animals and different things, right? It might just be one click for him, and maybe he needs 99 more. So we can't give up on these people. We have to encourage them to watch other documentaries. And I believe that these clicks come from other sources. You can only do so much, Jack. You've got him to watch a documentary. Maybe you go to work and or maybe you have a jacket or something that says this. I mean, I know you're in the army, so you can't just wear whatever you want, but you know what I mean? Like you can just make it click. Just your presence in ordering vegan food in front of him is going to be another click. And some people do come around. I love this one Facebook post, and this is going to be the last thing, we really should go, but this one amazing Facebook group post that I saw where this person took a screenshot of them before they were vegan, what they wrote on Facebook, and after. And it was so funny. It's like, "You fucking vegans, I hate you." You think you're so much better than us, and all. And then I think it was like 10 years later, or I don't know, a long time later, maybe 8 years later. And they're like, "That's how
exactly.
Like, hello." And and to be brave enough to post that. Now, the moral of my story is no, it should not take you 8 years. We'll give you 8 days to figure it out. How's that? Okay? Be vegan. Start now. Be vegan from now on. Right, Jack?
Exactly. There's no excuse. I mean, what's the argument about causing the least amount of harm? There's no argument.
Just try your best. And don't lie to yourself. Don't say, oh, I'm trying my best because, I just have to have cheese. No. Trying your best means fucking trying hard. Like, really. Be tough on yourself. Love yourself and give yourself a big hug every day because you're the only person who will ever be there all the time consistently. I tell this to my students all the time. You need to love yourself. You need to walk by a mirror and give yourself a wink and say, hey, cutie. But you also have to be tough with yourself. On that note, Jack Hillier, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for the opportunity.
To have met you in real life. And if you ever want to come back and chat and do this again, I would love to have you as my guest, my helper here in my classroom. We like to have guest speakers here at Miss Katie's school.
Well, I should add that I might see you at the vegan camp out in the UK because I know that you said that you were going to go there this year. So,
well, you know what? I was planning to, but that guy who invited me to the debate on Instagram seems to be chickening out. He seems to be. Oh. I'm just like, what? I'm going to do a video about him. Now, the dilemma is, should I be showing? Let me ask your opinion about this, okay? So he invited me. His name is Daz Games, and he has 6 million followers. And he invited me. He says, well, since you seem to think I'm, because this guy just picked on me for randomly. I didn't know who he was. And he made a bunch of videos saying that I was, making fun of me, laughing at me and all this stuff. So then I went back and said, well, actually, you're not exactly a nice guy. You're doing da-da-da-da-da. And I wrote a letter on behalf of the animals and what the animals thought of him. Okay. So I listed all the things. And then he wrote to me on Instagram, which is amazing that I saw this text. Actually, it was my husband. Sometimes I just give him my Instagram. I say, can you just look? I'm just exhausted. Like I can't find it. He said, oh, here's something from that guy, Daz Games. I'm like, really? The guy with 6 million followers? And he said, since you seem to dislike me so much, I challenge you to a debate in England. And I'm like, okay. What I did say to him, though, is I said, well, what is this about exactly? Like, is this just you going, you're setting me up for a firing squad? Like, what is it? If it's going to be worse for the animals, I'm not going to go. If you're going to do something that's just, weird, like I don't trust him, right? But he said, no, debate, 2 chairs on a stage with a live audience. I said, okay, let's do it. And now he seems to be writing things like, well, he said something like, I think it might be too hard on you.
Oh, I see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's it going to be hard on? Who, you big wimp? Who's it going to be hard on? You can't fucking hurt me. I had 1.7 million followers and they took me down. I walk around the streets thinking that my neighbors are going to shoot me because they think I'm some kind of creepy weirdo who murdered people. That's what they think because there's nothing you can do to hurt me. Like, what is the worst case scenario? Okay, I go in there and everyone is an animal abuser who's there to support him, right? Because he's booked the whole thing and sold all the tickets to his, okay? So I'm sitting there. They're going to what? Start throwing tomatoes at me? They're going to be mean? They're going to be what? I'm just going to say, okay, well, I guess this is over. We're not actually talking, and I'm going to walk out. Right?
Exactly.
I mean,
yep.
Like, so I don't know what's happening. So I basically said, well, no, I'll see you there. Don't worry about me. I'm coming. Mm-hmm. So that's how we left it. I haven't heard from him yet. But so here's my ethical question for you. Would you show the screenshots of this conversation? Do you consider this to be a public matter? Because I do. I think that the screenshots should be revealed because he said this to me and I responded in a public way. I said, I got challenged to this debate and I said yes. So now what? People are waiting, like you, who think I'm coming to England. So I don't know if I'm going or not. And I want to say to him, but see, people are like, oh, he never even talked to you. You made that up, right? They're like, oh, you're lying. Show us the screenshots. But, there's that one part of me that thinks, well, it's kind of a private conversation, right? But
it's a difficult one. I suppose you could possibly try and use it as leverage on him or something like that. But, yeah, it's a tricky one. I'd try and use it as leverage. But ultimately, you don't want him to chicken out. You want him to... You want him to go ahead. Especially.
Here's my theory, okay? There's another theory behind it. I told him, I said, before I go to this debate, I want you to watch these documentaries. They are mandatory because I don't want to spend the whole time explaining things to you. I want you to know what's going on. I have a feeling that maybe he watched these documentaries and did one of these. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. She's right. And he's just doing one of these, right? Like, what have I got myself into? So instead of being a man and just saying, hey, I'm actually getting a couple of your clicks. So maybe we shouldn't have this debate. Give me a while. It's not what he did, right? What he's doing is saying, well, I don't want you to be hurt, your feelings to be hurt. And it's like, oh, fuck you. You know, that's bullshit. Or I don't know. I don't know. So that's the thing I want to know. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm just waiting for the ticket to show up. He said, he invited me. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's go on stage. Let's talk about the animals. We'll see.
That's it. Well, hopefully it goes ahead because it'd be good to see you. Good to see you at the vegan festival in the UK.
Oh my God,
so.
I would love to go there. That vegan festival sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
just,
I'm planning.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm planning on taking a trailer. I'm painting it all up, so just gonna have it like vegan stuff painted all over it. So.
I hope that by then we should have our vaccines, and I don't know, maybe I should go anyway, and just hang out with you guys. Can you book a spot beside your trailer, and we'll just I want to meet the kids. I want to meet your wife. I just want to have fun. Imagine like you're camping with a bunch of vegans. And you're like dancing. Oh my God. Dancing and eating vegan food. Like, it just sounds like heaven. Absolute heaven.
Exactly.
All right. Well, 1 hour and 50 minutes. Oh, let's do a half an hour live.
That's it.
Oh my God. All right. Love talking to you, Jack. Thanks again.
Yeah. Cheers.
To everybody else, please follow Jack. Jack, just give them one more chance. Tell them your TikTok.
It's vegan.footsoldier.
Vegan.footsoldier. Please follow Jack. Support him. Write some nice things in his comment section and duet his videos. Help him rise to the top so that people will see him talking about the animals. And Jack also has a YouTube channel, which doesn't have a whole lot on there, but subscribe. Because you know what? When you guys all start subscribing, he's going to be like, oh, I have subscribers. Maybe I should make a video. And it's going to inspire him. Right, Jack?
That's it.
And your YouTube is called?
Oh, the YouTube is British Army Vegan. British Army Vegan.
Any dots in there? British?
I think it's British.army.vegan.
Okay.
Like I say, it's got a few things on it, but it's not really something that I put a lot of time into. It's so difficult. It's so difficult to get subscribers.
Don't worry. I totally get it. But I encourage you and everybody else to, as much as you can, find a name for yourself that nobody else has and just stick to it. It should have the word vegan in it, in your title. And you have the same one on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram. So if nobody's taken that, or Jack, you could also put your name in there. It helps. I find it helps when you have your name in there. I tried to do that, but they stole all the names. Like I can't even, I can't get an address that has my own name. They take every combination of them. They've been used by fakes. But I encourage people to have the word, their name in there, just so that we can know, like Jack the vegan army guy or whatever, something like that. And then it's easy, and then it's all yours. And if you take it kind of as long as possible, whatever the name is, so that nobody else can modify it. You know what I mean? Like if you're putting the dots between, like on TikTok, you only have 24 characters. So if you take them up, then that's it. That's who you are, You get like some people took mine. They took That Vegan Teacher, Who Cares, for example, which was an account of mine before, and they retook my name. And now it's like, oh shit. They took one of my names and hashtags because I wasn't smart. And when you get one, just don't change it. Like pick a really good one, think hard, something that says the word vegan in it. And it says, like, I love that. When I saw yours, Jack, that said British vegan, like army guy, I'm like, it says who you are. Like, I don't have to guess. Like, you're in the army? You're from Britain? You're vegan? Yes, you're my friend. Right?
Exactly.
The only thing that was missing is Jack. Because I don't want to call somebody that vegan, hey, you, that vegan army guy. So that's just my, like little 2 cents there. Yeah. So everybody get your accounts in order, and we will see you in the vegan army with all of the rest of us. Goodbye for now, my friend. Take care. Bye, everyone.